Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're re-diving into a topic that almost every human being has experienced at some point in their life. That heavy, uncomfortable, sinking feeling of being left out. You know exactly what I mean. The moment when you're scrolling through social media and suddenly see your friends hanging out without you. Or when a conversation is happening around you, but you feel invisible, unheard, and completely disconnected. It's painful, it's confusing, and sometimes, the emotion hits so deeply that you start questioning your worth, your relationships, and even your identity. But here is something important to remember. Feeling left out isn't just about people ignoring you. It's a powerful signal coming from your mind, a response rooted in biology, psychology, and thousands of years of human evolution. This feeling doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means you're human. Today, we're going to explore why this feeling happens, what your brain is trying to warn you about, the common situations that trigger this emotion, how you can cope with it in healthy ways, and how this painful experience can actually help you grow stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. Let's get into it. Before we talk about coping, healing, or growing, we need to understand the feeling itself. Feeling left out isn't a small emotional bruise. Psychologists actually call it social pain. And here's the shocking part. Studies show that the same parts of your brain that light up when you experience physical pain, like stubbing your toe, cutting your finger, or burning your hand, also activate when you feel rejected or excluded. Your brain literally treats social exclusion like a physical threat. That's why your chest feels tight. That's why your stomach drops. That's why your mind starts spiraling, replaying moments, analyzing words, and searching for clues. Your brain is trying to protect you, because thousands of years ago, being part of a group meant survival. If your tribe excluded you, it wasn't just embarrassing. It was dangerous. Being rejected could mean you didn't have food, protection, or help. So the human brain evolved to treat any sign of exclusion as an emergency. Even now, in our modern world filled with phones, cities, technology, and online communities, that ancient survival system is still wired inside us. Every time you feel ignored or unseen, that alarm system activates. So when you feel hurt, confused, or overwhelmed after being left out, you're not being dramatic. You're experiencing a biological response that has existed for thousands of years, and you're not alone. Every human being has felt this way, even the confident ones, the popular ones, the successful ones. Feeling left out is part of being human. It shows up in different ways for different people. One of the most common places this happens is within friend groups. Maybe they went out without inviting you. Maybe they're laughing about an inside joke you don't understand. Maybe you find out about plans only after they happened. Even if it was accidental or unintentional, it still hurts because friendship is where we expect belonging. Work or school is another place where exclusion shows up. Maybe your idea gets ignored during a group meeting. Maybe you're the last one chosen for a project. Maybe everyone seems to know something you weren't told. Professional exclusion doesn't just hurt your feelings. It can shake your confidence and make you question your abilities. And then there's social media, which can make everything feel 10 times worse. You see a picture or a story, and suddenly you're feeling unappreciated, unimportant, forgotten, or simply not good enough. Social media doesn't just show moments, it magnifies them, distorts them, and makes you compare your life to carefully curated highlights. Even family gatherings can trigger this feeling. You might notice siblings bonding more with each other, relatives dismissing your opinions, or dynamics that make you feel like an outsider in your own home. And yes, romantic relationships can be one of the biggest sources of emotional exclusion. When your partner leaves you out socially or emotionally, it can trigger some of your deepest insecurities. You may start wondering whether you're important, whether you did something wrong, or whether they're drifting away. All of this ties back to how your brain is wired. Humans are designed for connection. We survived by sticking together, depending on each other, and forming strong social bonds. Your brain is constantly seeking safety through belonging. That's why your reaction to exclusion feels so intense. It's an ancient instinct trying to protect you. It also relates to the basic human need for belonging. Just like you need food, shelter, and safety, you also need emotional connection. Maslow's hierarchy of needs places belonging right after safety. It's not optional, it's necessary. Another reason the feeling hurts so much is because it challenges your sense of identity and self-worth. Humans naturally evaluate themselves based on how they are treated by others. When you feel excluded, your brain tries to make sense of the situation. But instead of seeking logical explanations, it often jumps straight to self-blame. Maybe I'm boring. Maybe they don't want me. Maybe I'm not good enough. These thoughts are common, but they were usually not true. They read just your brain trying to understand a situation with limited information. We also have a built-in comparison instinct. When others are included and we're not, it's easy to think something is wrong with us. Comparison amplifies the pain of exclusion, even if the situation had nothing to do with us in the first place. But here's something interesting. Feeling left out isn't just pain. It's information. It's your brain giving you data, signals that something about the situation, the relationship, or your expectations needs attention. First, it shows that you care about connection. You feel left out because relationships matter to you. That's not a weakness. That's proof that you're capable of deep emotional bonds. Second, it reveals expectation gaps. Sometimes you feel left out, not because someone intentionally excluded you, but because your expectations didn't match reality. Maybe you expected an invite, a message, inclusion, recognition. When those expectations aren't met, disappointment turns into hurt. Feeling left out can also highlight areas where you may need to grow. Maybe you've been passive. Maybe you haven't communicated your needs clearly. Maybe you rely too much on others for validation. This emotion can point you toward healing, self-awareness, and better communication. It also builds empathy. People who have felt excluded are often more compassionate, more understanding, and more sensitive to other people's feelings. This experience can shape you into someone who includes others more intentionally. And most importantly, feeling left out is not a reflection of your worth. It says more about the situation than it does about you. There are also many misconceptions about being left out. One common myth is that being excluded means people don't like you. That's not always true. Sometimes people forget. Sometimes they assume you're busy. Sometimes things happen last minute. Not everything is personal. Another misconception is that you should be okay with everything. You're human. Feeling hurt is normal. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. Some people believe they need to fit in everywhere. You don't. You only need to belong where you're valued, supported, and appreciated. Another myth is that being left out once means you're unwanted. One moment doesn't define your worth, your relationships, or your future. Now let's talk about coping, the part most people struggle with. The first step is simply acknowledging the emotion. Don't shame yourself for feeling hurt. Don't judge yourself for caring. Recognize the emotion and allow yourself to feel it without spiraling into self-blame. The second step is reframing the situation. Ask yourself whether you might be misinterpreting things. Could there be another explanation? Are you assuming the worst? Most of the time, the situation isn't as personal as it feels. Another powerful strategy is to reach out instead of pulling back. When people feel left out, their instinct is to distance themselves, shut down, or withdraw. But isolation only makes the pain worse. If you want connection, ask for it. Message a friend, initiate a conversation, suggest a plan. You'd be surprised how often people assume you're the one who's busy. Strengthen other connections too. Go where you're appreciated. You don't need every group to choose you. You just need a few meaningful bonds. Practice self-compassion. Talk to yourself the way you'd talk to a friend who is hurting. Be gentle, patient, and understanding with yourself. You deserve that kindness. And don't forget to invest your energy in things that fulfill you. Hobbies, creativity, learning, personal goals. All of these can help shift your focus and rebuild your emotional strength. Now let's talk about something that most people overlook. How feeling left out can actually help you grow. It gives you space for self-reflection. Ask yourself why the situation hurt so much. What insecurity did it trigger? What expectation did you have? These answers can reveal deep insights about your emotional needs. It also encourages you to improve your social skills. Maybe you need to communicate better. Maybe you need to initiate more. Maybe you need to express your needs instead of assuming people will guess them. Every time you handle exclusion in a healthy way, you build emotional resilience. You learn to navigate difficult emotions without falling apart. And sometimes, being left out pushes you toward better communities. People who truly appreciate you, value you, and include you intentionally. Not every space is meant for you, and that's okay. Feeling left out is never easy. It hurts, it confuses, and sometimes it lingers longer than you want it to. But it's not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a natural human response, a reminder that relationships matter, and an opportunity to understand yourself more deeply. The next time you feel that painful pang of exclusion, remember this: the feeling is temporary. It does not define your worth. It does not determine your future. It does not mean you're unlovable. And it can be a moment of growth, strength, clarity, and reflection. Be kind to yourself. Reach out when you need connection. Invest in people and communities that uplift you, not those that drain you. You do belong, even if it doesn't always feel like it. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you understand your emotions better, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on mental health, self-awareness, and navigating life's complex emotions. Remember, being left out isn't a failure. It's a feeling that can guide you, teach you, and ultimately help you grow. You've got this.